I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but the art in the Pokemon TCG has been incredible for the last few sets. Eevee Heroes has some of the best art I've ever seen, and honestly, that continues in Skystream and Towering Perfection. So let's take a quick look at the top 6 most interesting secret art cards we're going to get. That's right, everyone. Connor here this week, and honestly, choosing this top 6 might be why Shay's skipping the week, because it was almost impossible. Some of the art coming out of these latest sets just really gives more character to some of the Pokemon, and like the detailing in the background and the stories that they tell is just breathtaking. So narrowing this list down was really hard. And actually, before we get into this video, I want to say I probably don't choose the same list you do. So if you disagree with me, feel free to comment down below and, we can start this conversation because it's getting really difficult to choose. But that said, let's jump straight into number 6. Okay, so I just said that choosing this list was really difficult, right? And that we're probably going to disagree. And that's because I cheated, frankly. I chose a top 7 because I wanted to include the 2 full art stadiums, or the secret race stadiums, Stormy Range and Crystal Cave, and honestly, I couldn't choose between them, right? Secret race stadiums are a thing that Pokemon have done for a little while now, like back to like Brooklet Hill and Mount Coronet had one too, that are just a really nice way of kind of going, cool, here's a bit more of a view of the world in the TCG, right? We don't get to explore, the regions in Pokemon as much in the TCG as you do, say, in the video games or through the anime. And giving these, like, extra details and these really dramatic views of some of these really interesting locations is a really neat way of doing it. Especially because these are both also pretty playable. And unlike other cards that might be shiny and, you play them in front of you like in a normal game, at least with a stadium, you kind of get to flex on your opponent that little bit extra because you put it in the middle of the table, just kind of be like, yeah, that's right, I just spent all my money on these cards, and you get to look at them too because I'm so generous like that. And, that's nice. You get to flex on your opponent. You get to, like, kind of establish, I got money, until the set comes out. And then I'm going to spend all my money on this set. Please send help. So, starting the list properly now, right, and actually playing by the rules and choosing one card for each slot, we get Zinnia's Resolve now. Zinnia's Resolve is a card that just really captures the essence of a character that I think a lot of people kind of think is fantastic. There's a lot of people out there who first encountered the Zinnia plotline in Ruby and Sapphire's remakes and went, okay, they've completely thrown us a curveball. This is not the way that the story was told the first time round. And we've introduced this really mysterious, kind of interesting backstory, strong, cool character in the shape of Zinnia. And seeing her now get a card that really captures that is kind of incredible, right? Like, the art on this card is a little bit more dynamic than we would see for like your typical trainer card, right? The typical trainer card is a trainer just striking a pose. Here we have the cape whipping around, we have these wind streaks. Even the smirk kind of captures that kind of confidence that Zinnia shows in the games. And I think it's just a really incredible way of getting a character and a lot of the personality just into a single picture, which is something that is really not easy to do, and here they've done an incredible job. So, for anyone who knows me, my number 4 pick is probably a little surprising because they probably think it's going to end up higher. It's actually the Dragonite V special art. The full art is also actually incredible. And you might notice that there's a Dragonite behind me, so you could accuse me of being biased, and frankly, you are right. But the Dragonite V special art, or the alternate art, whatever you want to call it, it's just kind of amazing. Dragonite is just having a nap on a cloud. There are Spearows and Fearows flying around underneath, and Dragonite is that kind of Pokemon, right? A lot of the arts for Dragonites over the years are either it being kind of cool, but it's also this big, chubby, friendly dragon, right? When we first see it in the movie, it's delivering post. Like, it's kind of just happy to be here. And this is what we get in this Dragonite. It's just so relaxed. It's just taking a nap, which sounds like a great idea. And it's just really fun. And Dragonite arts tend to be really fun, and this is just another great example. Okay, so this top 3 could honestly go in basically any order, and I think I'd still be happy. But this is where I had to end up with for this list, and it's probably going to be one of the more controversial picks. In at number 3, we have Rayquaza VMAX alternate art, right? Snaking through the air, giant green dragon, between trees, just kind of looking a bit menacing. The card will be a menace in the format. The card is, pretty strong. And I think this is a kind of neat way of showing its size, how impressive it is as a Pokemon. But it can also be accused of being maybe a little bland compared to some of the others on this list. Especially the next 2. They really go all out for it. But I also wouldn't be surprised if some people thought this was, their favorite card from the set. I can see it. It's probably going to be one of the most expensive. It's a VMAX. They're hard to pull anyway, and look at it. So definitely want to keep your eye on, and keep an eye out for prices on Cardmarket when they become available. But it just got peaked, at the post for the top 2 spots. So number 2 might be the single least Pokemon-looking Pokemon art I have ever seen, because it's Noivern V swooping in through a city. This is incredible. What an interesting choice of Pokemon to have this kind of art, but also really interesting design decision, because normally they keep it kind of Pokemon-y, right? And this is Batman. That's Batman. It just is. Because, Noivern's one of those Pokemon that kind of gets forgotten about and is a little bit it's a little lame. It's not been particularly good in the TCG kind of ever. And, outside of the Night Striker starter deck that came out years ago that I used to teach my brother how to play the game on, it's kind of a nothing Pokemon. So who decided it got this treatment? Who went, we'll make one of the single coolest cards I've ever seen with a Pokemon that most people forget exists. It's phenomenal. It looks terrifying. You can sense the speed at which it's swooping. You can see it's got its talon out ready to grab things. It's such an action shot that I don't know if I've seen anything like it in this game. Hence why I say it's one of the least Pokemon-y Pokemon arts I've ever seen. But it's only in at number 2. And I think, frankly, I could have put it at number 1. It's maybe a bit of a bias against Noivern because it's a Noivern. And, well, you'll see with number 1. Okay, so in at number 1, and this is probably not too much of a surprise to anyone who's seen any of the art in this set, it's Rayquaza V, right? Rayquaza V, spiraling through the air, swooping, Zinnia behind him. That's a Pokemon art, and that is incredible, right? Not only do we now get to see a sense of scale with Rayquaza, like we did with the VMAX through the trees, of just how big even its regular form is. We get to see how kind of fast it can move. Something that you forget. These giant Pokemon can really move. And we see Zinnia. Again, one of those characters that I think people just think is kind of awesome, chilling on this art, which kind of cheats, frankly. A lot of the time when they put a trainer on the art, it's better. And it's going to be a card that so many people want to get, so many people will want for their collection, so many people want to play. This could be pricey, but I kind of think it's worth it. It looks phenomenal. But that is it for the week, right? Do you agree that Rayquaza should be top of this list? Maybe Noivern should have earned that thing. Like I said, drop a comment down below. If you want to know when Shay's going to be back with these top 6 lists, and I don't blame you, go ahead, hit subscribe. He will be back. He's taking a little break. You've got me in the meantime, and sorry about that. But if you actually enjoyed this list and want to see more of me on the channel, first of all, really, but go ahead, click like, and, you know, I'll be in the comments joining in with any discussion. So thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.